everybody. Welcome to J&J on Jazz, sponsored by Jazzwire.
So, Jeff, it's really great to be with everybody this week. I've got a question for you. All right?
Hit me.
All right. I'm just gonna noodle a little bit. I want you to tell. I'm just listen. You recognize that sound, that scale, right? What was that I was playing?
Well, it just sounded hip. So, I mean, frankly, it was like, my first thought was, damn. I mean, honestly, like, those are some killing lines. But as I listen in, I think I'm hearing the bebop scale, or I'm hearing scalar bits with chromaticism.
Right. So we think of the bebop scale as being something that we play over dominant chords. Was I playing over a dominant chord or a minor chord?
I mean, I guess I'm not sure. I was hearing probably dominant, more of a major sort of sound.
Yeah, absolutely. And in my brain, I was actually thinking I was playing over a minor chord. So what we wanted to talk with you all about this week is something that, as a bebop player, is near and dear to my heart, which is superimposing dominant sounds over top of minor chords. Okay? So in this case, what we're talking about is the three chords that make up a major 2-5-1. Minor 2, dominant 7, and then major 1. Breaking that down to the two chords that are the 2-5. Minor 2, dominant 5. Okay? So, we're going to be in the key right now for me of, would be E flat major is the 2-5-1 that we're aiming towards, which means our minor 2 chord is F minor, and our dominant chord is B flat dominant 7. So
yeah, we'll put that up on the screen for everybody.
Great. And so here is the B flat dominant 7 bebop dominant scale. So I'm using that sound as a way to start playing ideas over the 2 chord in that 2-5-1. So F minor 7. So Jeff, I'm just going to play like 16 bars right now over just regular F minor 7. We're almost going to imagine that the tune "So What" has the first 16 bars are F minor, just static harmony. So check this out.
Well, man, I mean, that sounded like killer bebop. It sounded like minor. There was nothing that sounded wrong. It just sounded like the first thing you played. It just sounded hip. It sounded correct.
Well, I paid you to say that, so thank you. But
yes,
that's a device that I heard for a lot of years and didn't really understand what was going on or why it worked. And in my brain, the way I've rationalized it is the minor 2 chord and the dominant 5 chord, they can really be the same sound. Right? Mm-hmm. And so a lot of the same rules apply. So I found myself using that kind of a sound a lot when I'm playing over static minor tonalities, and I've heard some of my heroes do it a lot. So I just thought I would throw that out there and get your reaction to that sound and ask you if you ever use that or if it's something that you use in your teaching, Jeff.
Well, it's something I've started doing more recently, and it was, like I didn't know what I was hearing, but I've heard Cannonball Adderley do that a ton. And looking at some Cannonball transcriptions, playing the song Janine, for instance, one that we've talked about before, and you've done a guided listening on. And Cannonball over that A flat minor, the first chord of Janine, he's playing D flat 7 bebop scale all over the place. So just so we know what we're talking about, I'm just going to play that B flat concert bebop scale.
Right.
So yeah, it's actually called the John Philip Sousa scale, and it was called the bebop scale later. But it's funny, right? So there's almost nothing in jazz aside from the feel. All of the African-American experience is central to jazz, but so much of the harmony and melody is borrowed from the music that existed before, right? almost every jazz scale, whatever that is you want to talk about, it existed beforehand. So yeah, so that's the scale. By the way, you heard James as he was playing play a bunch of stuff, and a lot of it had a descending sound, didn't it? When I just played that scale, I played it downwards twice. And that was my instinct. It didn't occur to me to play that upwards. Although if you add up all the scales I played in my life, which is around 10 million, almost all of them were ascending first. The bebop scale, it's just sort of a hallmark of jazz. In jazz, we see the shape of an arpeggio up and a bebop and a scale down. It's a big generalization, but it's a good one. So anyway, so right there, so now you know the bebop scale. It's a major scale with the addition of a flat 7, if you want to think about it that way. Different ways to talk about it. Very often descending. But it's still a scale. It's still not quite music. So when you listen to what James played, and we'll put a couple things on the PDF for you, some good bits of vocabulary to get you going. You can hear what's going on. So I tell you what, let me play a little bit here for you, and let me play for you one of the licks that I'm going to play, and I'm going to put on the PDF. This is something I got from Eric Alexander at Maryland Winter Jazz a handful of months ago. So it's pretty hip. It's just the descending scale with a little thing at the beginning and with a little sort of David Baker, Indiana University thing at the end. Yeah. So it's just dressed up, man. It's just a chicken breast, but you dressed it up a little bit. You put a little sauce over here, a little garnish over there. Now you can charge $75 for it. It was just a chicken breast a minute ago. Not me. I'm not the cook in the house, just saying. So let me play a little bit here for you, and you're going to hear that sound a bunch. I'm going to do that one more time. I think we're going to use the second one. I hope I don't mess it up this time. Here we go.
Yeah, Jeff, same idea, right? That sound is completely mobile and it works over, it just works perfectly. And because of the way you use that passing tone in there, which is like the in concert pitch, the A natural, which I think of as the passing tone, right? The B flat, A natural, A flat. If you're playing that sound over F minor, you're using the major third of a minor chord as a passing tone. Right?
Yep.
And this is why it's so important that we understand that there are rules in jazz. This scale works as long as you use that as a passing tone. And of course you did that expertly, right?
Well, thank you. And that's a great point. And this is the kind of stuff we get to inside Jazzwire. And by the way, we've increased the free trial. It's been a little short for some people. We're doing 30 days now. 30-day free trial. Yeah. Come into Jazzwire. Here's the place to do it. Check out 900 videos, I think we have, but check out the community. That's where it all happens. And now, and what we can do is demystify some of these things. James went over one of the most important things you're ever going to hear, and it went by really quickly, but we need to talk about that a bunch for it to be actionable. So as a younger guy, I'd see a Cannonball transcription and see a C minor chord, and he's playing E natural. And I'm thinking, okay, I guess I can do that too. Guess what happened when I played E natural over a C minor?
Nothing good.
Yeah, nothing good. Nothing good. That's why they made me leave Canada, actually. Yeah, they kicked me out. They sent me to North Texas like, yeah, man, no, you can't do that up here. That's not cool.
Uh-oh.
So it's the context, how Cannonball used that note. I thought it was terribly unfair. Cannonball's allowed to use that note, but I'm not. Well, Cannonball knew how to use the note, the context, the device, the construct, right? And so again, like you can look at a transcription, you can buy a PDF, you can purchase that book, but you're not going to get the information. And then the application. So now you have a little more information out there. Great, glad you have it. But again, how do you apply it? That's what the community inside Jazzwire really gets into. So, man, James, this was James's idea, and I'm really, really glad you brought this up because, man, this is like a really big secret to the playing. You know, we've mentioned Cannonball, we've mentioned Eric Alexander, we could mention probably every other great jazz player ever. This is a device they use, and what it does is that it unlocks your dominant vocabulary over a minor chord. You have X number of things you can do on a minor chord. Well, guess what? Every dominant lick you know now works on a minor chord when you know how to do the translation. That's why we would do this in the first place. So that's great, man. Very cool.
Yep, we're
now,
all about
I heard
working
you have
smarter and not harder here at J&J on Jazz, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, I heard you have to get off to a Freddie Mercury lookalike contest. Is that where you're going from here?
Yep. I am the champion. So
you are a champion, my friend. Yeah, get that armband, put on those white jeans, and I can't wait to see the video.
Oh gosh.
You guys, see y'all later.